entire towns cut off, the chaos and destruction stretching from the city to the suburbs.
It sounded like about half a dozen semi-trailers coming through at full speed.
It looks like a catastrophe.
It started in the dark of night, the wind and rain unrelenting. But it was in the light of day that worst fears were realised. This woman stretchered from her Olinda home after it was smashed by a fallen tree, while these residents in Kalorama, who fled at the height of the storm, returned today to find their property a heartbreaking mess.
Really, really scary. It was like I was in some sort of movie. Coming and seeing my mum's house like this today, it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying.
Emerald local Brad Wind had just sold his home. Last night he listened as it was torn apart.
Loud noise and it absolutely wrecked the place. I'm still waiting on SES and a few other people, but I know they're busy, so just got to sit back and wait.
Thousands of others were forced to do the same. More than 5,000 calls and only 1,000 volunteers on the ground, leaving the SES inundated. Neighbours and strangers pitching in to help pick up the slack.
We do what we can because we're Melburnians and we fight.
But across the danger zone, the warning was clear: stay home unless essential.
If you don't need to be on the roads, if you don't need to be out and about, then please don't.
Certainly no danger of us leaving our 5K.
Wind gusts peaked at 119 kilometres an hour north of the city, the force ripping out trees, roots and all, taking down power lines as they toppled, sparking this show in Mordialloc. On Swan Street, Richmond, tram cables were the casualty as across the state 290,000 properties were unplugged.
Power's out, walking around candles, phones are flat. Life couldn't get better.
This is, like I said, the largest event that our network's had to deal with in the last 40 years. Some people that are impacted by this for several days. We can't say exactly how long.
In Altona, a piece of the pier broke off under the pressure, the surging swell washing a boat onto the sand in St Kilda. It also overwhelmed 2 others docked for the day, but wasn't enough to deter 2 surfers searching for a challenge, while everyone else was urged to stay dry.
Don't drive into floodwater. Don't go into floodwater on foot.
In Traralgon, a swollen creek transformed streets into shallow rivers, making a boat the best way to evacuate.
We've got clothes. That's about it. We might go back and go smaller, see how we go.
The sting in the tail of this storm is that it may not be done yet. Forecasters warning the low could hit parts of the state a second time this long weekend.
This is still an extremely dynamic situation. It will continue to change.
Let's go live now to Stephanie in St Kilda. Steph, the